How we doing? Another beautiful day out here. You can see this behind me. You see what's going on, right? You see what's going on out here. This is uh Vitus Weizenbach strong wheat beer. Lion Stefaner is a great brand. They make a good Hefeweizen. If you're into that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't trade on Friday. Kind of forgot to look again. Didn't do much of anything on Friday. Um, so I think the week turned out negative, of course, because of Thursday. Does this make any sense? Last week, and it picks like 11 days to look at? What? Today's the 11th. Okay, so we came out down for 44 positive win percentage. Okay, that's good. That's, that means this. That means that we're not taking one to ones. Um, so that's interesting. Statistics to look at, right? Let's take a look at yeah. So this was midnight on Friday yesterday. So I had this zone drawn out. I didn't have any supply zones because we had this big 4 hour. Um, I don't know. Would you draw this one out? Not really. You could, but it kind of just the price action kind of just like so. There's this high, and the price action for the day kind of just came up to that high and came back down in the morning. So we bounced out of this zone pre-market. Um, okay, and then here's the open. The open was real janky. It was very sideways. Came down, came up a little bit. That's where it popped up. Just enough to just enough to close above these highs, but um, obviously kind of just that's all it did. So you could draw this zone, and there's probably a fake out right there actually. This green candle. So people might have gotten faked out right there. It kept dumping. Um, and if you have this zone drawn in, maybe you want to just wait for it to. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? You wait for it to come to the higher time zones. Even though I've been drawing it in 5 minutes, I don't know. It's not that far away if you're trying to trade off this 5 minute. Like this isn't that far away, so maybe you just expect it to retest. Uh, and I'm looking at the volume profile here. Why am I drinking out of the bottle? I'm gonna just pour some. There's not. It's not like a hard shelf here, but it definitely bounced once, twice, and kind of formed a little bit of a shelf. So, that's what we saw down here. This was definitely a hard shelf, though. You can see the difference. Let's see. Excuse me. Pardon me. Jeez. But that's where we saw this bounce turn into good enough move up. Um, took this. Stop. If you held it till 435 points from that. Would have taken a while, of course. You would have been holding that for a while just to get to VWAP, but that seems like the only trade to me today. You could maybe look at this as a trade, and that this move down would giving you a couple points, but this is another situation like where I got played last time, where on Thursday, where you have this big uptrend, and I'm shorting it around up here, and even though you might get a couple points, it's not going to come back down to VWAP or a point of control, whatever. This uptrend was just too strong. So this isn't this isn't the strongest of uptrends, but it's certainly coming out of a higher time frame demand zone. So maybe you don't want to be getting in the way of that. Wouldn't call this the best short for that reason. Could draw this in. I kind of didn't see this. It's like an okay zone that came down. And that's before you're coming out of the higher time frame demand zone. That's like taking out people who maybe tried to long this 5 minute demand zone. Yeah, I might have tried to take that, dude. I might have got faked out right there. Uh, but it breaks the low here, and then you can probably take a short here. Mm. And then when you come down here, probably take this long. You could long this, you know. You could long this if you were late. It is kind of at this point though, it is kind of doing this, but that works out eventually. So yeah, couple opportunities there. Nothing horrible. Uh, let's just see what that looks like. Here's your 10 points. Kind of depending, like if you use that as your stop, which I always talk about the one-to-one thing, but that just gets to be when you're using higher time frame zones, it just becomes sketchy. So how do you balance that? Maybe we'll ask ChatGPT. Maybe use this low instead. Plenty of times where you can like use the entry, but then there's also plenty of times that it takes out your entry, goes a little bit lower, and then goes in your direction. So at least this one-to-one, you would have gotten yeah, hey, geez, you would have gotten your target a lot sooner. Then you probably could have held it if you had a runner. Just held it for the rest of the day. So yeah, there it is. Have a beautiful weekend, mate.